Welcome to the Cigar Rebel community, where indulgence meets authenticity. This is more than a podcast. It's a gathering place for those who savor life's luxuries with unapologetic passion. Here we celebrate the fine art of living through rich flavors, bold spirits, exquisite cigars, and unforgettable experiences.
Welcome, Cigar Rebels, to the podcast. I'm Mel. Whether you are lighting up on your back porch, sitting at your favorite lounge, driving home from work, or sneaking away for a little peace and quiet with a cigar, we are glad you're here.
And I'm Kevin. We're coming to you live tonight with a conversation that I've been looking forward to for weeks. Tonight we're going to talk about cigars, business events, communities, and what happens when the cigar lounge doesn't wait for you to come to it.
Yes, that's right. So tonight we are joined by Dale and Delia. Did I say that right?
Delia.
Delia. Okay,
Delia.
I would have known that had you were asking earlier. I want to make sure we pronunciated it right.
I made a
That was
whole
my
problem
guess.
out of it.
Yeah, but you guys are with Simple Man Mobile Cigar Lounge.
And I love this concept because cigar lounges are normally built around a place, a building, a humidor, a chair, a table, a regular crowd, but not Simple Man.
Right. Simple Man, you guys take the cigar experience on the road with you to weddings, private events, festivals, parties, the corporate gatherings, really anywhere that people want to sit down, slow down together and enjoy a cigar.
Yeah, and that's dangerous, guys, because some of us already have a hard enough time staying away from the cigar lounge and to say no to the cigars that are in the humidor. And now we're going to events and cigars are already there.
Yeah, it feels like both a business model and also a personal attack.
Exactly.
So tonight we are going to talk with both of you about how you guys got into cigars, your first kind of cigar memories, why you decided to get into the cigar business, and what made you guys choose the mobile cigar lounge life and what Simple Man is really about.
Yeah, and we're also going to talk about events, some of your favorite memories, brands that you guys enjoy selling, and the stories you tell about them. And then we're going to see, I want to hear what you're hearing from customers, like some of the things that the feedback that you get, because I think y'all have a fascinating business model and you're reaching people that a cigar lounge, a podcast may not reach. And so we're excited to get into that here in just a few minutes.
Yep. All right. So Rebels, cut light and settle in.
But Mel, before the conversation, let's go ahead and tell everybody what we're smoking tonight.
So tonight we are smoking the Lone Star Attitude, or the LSA, by the Elevated Humidor.
Look at my graphic.
I know you've got Hoot and Young on there, but it's by the Elevated
How
Humidor.
did all the data's right.
It has a Habano Claro wrapper, an Indonesian binder, and then it's got a proprietary blend of premium tobacco, including the HBA for the fillers.
Yep. And so I apologize for the graphic, guys. I do update these week to week, and did this one quickly at a busy weekend.
Yeah.
And so for our live audience, there's a guy named Eric. So I didn't work yesterday, Eric. This is the problem. This is what happens. But let's go ahead and light this cigar, Mel. The lighting is brought to you by the Elevated Humidor.
Some moments deserve more than just passing by. They deserve to be celebrated. That's the philosophy behind the Elevated Humidor. Born from a passion for hand-rolled premium cigars, TEH blends world-class tobaccos from the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua into cigars crafted with tradition, precision, and purpose. Whether you're marking a milestone, closing a deal, or simply taking a well-earned pause, the Elevated Humidor turns a simple moment into a lasting memory. With 4 distinct collections crafted to satisfy every palate, there's truly something for everyone. Explore the smooth refinement of the Velvet Collection, the elevated sophistication of the Elegant Collection, the timeless character of the Core Collection, or the flavor experience of our Infused Collection. Visit your preferred tobacconist and ask for the Elevated Humidor by name. If you don't find us on the shelf, our premium collections are available online through our trusted retail partner, Two Guys Cigars, bringing exceptional craftsmanship and unforgettable experiences directly to your door. The Elevated Humidor. Celebrate life the elevated way.
As always, thank you to our sponsors. Now that we have this kind of lit, how's it treating everybody?
Yeah, just the first couple of draws for me. I'm interested in, Dale, your thoughts, but I get a little bit of a sweet hay and some roasted peppers off of it.
Yeah.
I've only taken 3 draws, so it's very early on.
Yeah, you're right. I do get the hay. I like the cold draw first. A lot of y'all know I don't smoke, and that's okay. You don't have to smoke a good cigar in order to enjoy a good cigar. But the blend is really nice. It's an easy draw. I like it.
Yep. I get a lot of spice,
Spice.
a little bit of, not a peppery spice, but almost like maybe a jalapeno or something like that spice to it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Absolutely. So just a couple of shout outs. Hey, Krista, welcome. It's good to see you, Dwayne. Always excited to have you guys on. So if you're watching live tonight, we'd love for you guys to go ahead and drop in the comments what you're smoking, maybe what you're pairing with the cigar. Let us know how your evening is going. Krista says she's getting a lot of chili pepper like jalapeno, very similar to what Mel just said. And so, Mel, let's go ahead and jump right into tonight's topic.
So welcome again, guys, to the podcast. We're really glad that you guys are here with us tonight. And so, welcome. Yeah, welcome.
Pretty excited. Long drive. But it was pretty excited.
Long drive. So where are you guys out of?
We're out of north side of Tyler, by I-20. So
okay, absolutely. And so we're excited to have you guys with us tonight, and we're gonna have a great conversation. We like to say that every good cigar comes with a story, and tonight we really want to get into y'all's story, because a mobile cigar lounge is not something someone typically just wakes up and accidentally starts.
Right. Yeah. Normally there's a story behind it, a moment. There's got to be a lot of passion there, conversation, maybe a little bit of craziness and chaos.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And every good business has a little bit of chaos to it, a little bit of craziness, right?
Especially in cigars. So I want to start kind of at the beginning and ask the question, how did you guys get into cigars?
Well, I've been smoking cigars probably about 11 years. Group of guys I was working with, they kind of reintroduced me back to cigars. My first experience you're talking about a while ago was with my dad down in Galveston when I was about 21 years old. He brought out some, at the time, seemed like a foot-long Candelas. I didn't know what it was. It was on the jetty. He gave me one of those. I looked at it. It was very intimidating. So I cut it in half and attempted to smoke the other half. Threw the rest in the water. I couldn't do it. So that was my first experience with cigars until I was working on some other guys about 10, 11 years ago. And they reintroduced me back to cigars, and I really enjoyed it. So that kind of started my passion again with cigars.
I didn't enjoy what he was doing. But it was okay. I mean, it made him happy. It was good. It was fine. I didn't have to go back to work, so whatever he enjoyed, how I got involved in it is I wanted to learn more. What did you like? What did he like? What can I do to thank him for working hard and providing a home for me? And I would go to these local tobacco shops and say, okay, I know he likes this, this, and this. Pick me out some.
Oh.
And when I found out what his favorites were, I would conspire with my mom, and we would go and get him boxes of them, and just everything that we could to line up his big old thing of cigars that he keeps, so that he'd have these different ones, and it made him happy, and I wanted him to be happy. I didn't want him to smoke in my Jeep, and that was okay. But he smoked in his truck, and
It's
I
nice
wasn't.
getting home when there's a pack of cigars sitting on the island waiting for you when you get home after a day's work.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's
Mel,
very nice.
pick up some notes here. No.
We got lots of cigars at home.
We have thousands to house. So I do always find this part extremely fascinating. I love hearing that part of the story because there's so many variables. Sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's a relative, sometimes it's walking down the street and stopped into a cigar shop. There's so many variables to how people begin their cigar journey. And it's just something that's fascinating to hear. And I love how much you took to his hobby, his passion, and really made it yours.
Yeah, because I learned a lot. I learned what he liked, what he did not like, and I would go and hunt. It's almost like a scavenger hunt. I got to find the best cigar. What I need this. This surprised me with something else, and it became fun for me because the look on his face when I pulled out this bundle, it was, hey, I appreciate everything you've done, but tell me more about this cigar. Or if he smokes one and it stank, let me know that cigar, because I'm not going to buy that, because a good cigar will have a nice aroma, and then I can hang out with him a little longer.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Redneck Yam said, smoking my last McAuliffe White working on the boat, which is awesome.
Yes.
Alex, good to see you. Always glad to have you on the podcast with us. Highly Outdoors said, smoking my last McAuliffe. Oh, same thing as the Redneck Yam. So same person, maybe. If not,
No.
wildly interesting.
McAuliffe
Two
White,
people doing
yep.
the same thing.
That's our son.
Yeah,
That's
that's
our
awesome.
son.
And we smoked the newer McAuliffe White earlier today, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
So was it something that you guys enjoyed right away when you started smoking maybe 10 or 11 years ago, or was it something that kind of built up?
I kind of done it at work, and that was about it. I didn't take it from home very much. Just something I done with the guys at work. We'd take, I'm a safety coordinator, so we was able to go out on a job site or something, or smoke outside. So it's something that's kind of progressed along the way, and kind of one thing led to another, and so we go ahead.
Never have a cigar, an adult beverage, and a hot tub. Don't combine those three. Don't combine those three. How this kind of stepped in is that we know that someday we're going to retire, and we wanted to kind of do something we would supplement our income and then have fun at the same time. In January of 2024, was that right?
2025.
We're at Canton. This is where everything blew up. It was at Canton. And we're walking around, and it was a beautiful day for a January. And he pulled out his cigar, and you thought is like, oh, all these guys are saying, oh, man, I wish I brought a cigar with me. And we was just kind of walking around, and of course I can tell when something is going on in his mind. You can tell, and he was enjoying this walk and this cigar. That is where the fire started.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's really great. I mean, I think a lot of people think cigars are just about the cigar, but for a lot of us, it's about the people.
Yes.
It's about the room. It's about the conversation.
Experience.
It's that feeling that you get to slow down.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to hear from both of you what your favorite part of the cigar culture is. If you could pick, it could be cigar culture, maybe the experience of it.
My favorite is when somebody comes up and says, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just now starting out. And I get to pick out something for them that would start out kind of mild, something that won't knock them off their feet or anything like that. And to get a message to say, you picked the right one for me. This is an excellent one. So it just kind of makes me feel good.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
When our son was younger, he wanted to learn how to fly fish. And so we took a fly fishing class, and we got really involved in fly fishing. And one thing that's progressed along, you go fly fishing, especially somebody that ties flies, like me and him started doing. When you go fly fishing and somebody ties a fly and they're catching the fish, you kind of ask them, what are you using? And 9 times out of 10, they'll hand you the fly that they're catching the fish with. Same way with cigars. If you like a particular cigar, a lot of times somebody says, what do you happen to like? And a lot of times they will hand you their favorite cigar.
Yeah.
So I like that people share their experience, what they enjoy with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. So it's an important question here next, Dale, and I want you to be honest with us, okay? Because not everybody starts with something great. All right. So what was your first cigar? And maybe you can talk about the one with your dad, you talk about the Candela, but when you started smoking 10 or 11 years ago, what was the first cigar?
The guys I was working with liked full body cigars. And so I kind of jumped in head over heels, over full body cigar up to my neck, because I didn't start out with a mild cigar or something what we suggest somebody starting with. I went all the way to a full body, a lot of times Maduros, but that's how I kind of grew my palate from that way, that far up. And I really like the Maduro. To me, it's eye appealing, first of all. Look at a Maduro, I'm already tasting, I'm already getting the cocoa notes, and stuff like that. And I really enjoy the Maduro cigars and full bodies.
Okay. Curious, do you still smoke that same cigar today?
Not maybe that same brand, but the same wrapper, the same body. I still enjoy a Maduro. I still enjoy a full body, but different brands.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to try different brands now, and especially what we specialize in, Texas brands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm curious how this cigar is treating everybody. I know you were cold drawn on it a little bit.
Yeah, it's I liked his idea when he said, "Hey, it brought me back to my childhood." Running around in the hayfields and stuff like that. So it's a nice, easy draw on that.
I still got a little spicy, but it's not a hard spice. It's one that kind of keeps you kind of keep on going because it's kind of like that hot sauce that you keep eating because it's so good and you're afraid to stop. You just enjoy every puff of it.
Yeah, so I love a good hot sauce that it doesn't burn till you stop eating it.
Yes.
And so you got to keep eating more because your mouth's numb as long as you're eating it. We were at a cigar event at War Wagon on Saturday. We went up there to do a cut and light with those guys. And while I was eating, this little Mexican restaurant they took us to was the same thing. It was like the hot sauce was smooth, but the finish was just burning hot. And so I had about 3 or 4 chips because I was trying to, just want a little something because we're going to be there. We ended up being there about 6 hours. And so I was like, I want to eat something little bit and not too much. So I had to hold off. And man, but their hot sauce was good.
Right. So now I kind of want to transition just a little bit, or where you wanted to go to some comments?
Comments to say. Chris said he's enjoying the Roper by the Elevated Humidor.
Awesome.
And then Dwayne said off of this cigar, because he's got the Cigar Rebel pack, so he's smoking the Lone Star Addicts. I'm getting chocolate. I can't talk tonight like normal. Chocolate volcano cake on the Retro Hell, which is a fantastic description.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm getting that, but I'm going to have to retro hair a few times to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you retro hell, Dell?
Yes, I tried to. And I'm trying to remember the chocolate lava cake, and I can kind of see that.
I love chocolate.
It's been a while. We need to go back and try that lava cake again.
Yeah. There's definitely that spice on it for sure. So
Mhm.
I'm going to transition a bit
I was
now.
going to transition a little bit and talk a little bit about the cigar industry. So, enjoying cigars is one thing, great thing, but selling cigars is a completely different story. Building an experience around cigars, that's also on another level. When did you guys kind of know that you wanted to get into the industry, start the mobile lounge? Was it a long conversation? Was it a short one?
No, it's coming back from Canton when we had that experience. Everybody was, man, I wish I had a cigar. And later that evening, we got on our hot tub, and I had a cigar, and I think she might have had a glass of wine. We started talking, and that's kind of when we made the decision. Hey, let's take a plunge and go for it and see what our first step is.
Yeah.
Which is licensing, and that was not an easy step.
Yeah, and you always knew you wanted to do the mobile lounge starting out?
We didn't know where it was going to go. We followed this thing. You're not going to get anywhere until you start.
Right.
So we just started, and then we just we let everything ride. We did this and we did this. There was no rhyme or reason in it. And how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? And we was watching YouTubes and we was watching everybody else. And I said, we need to start doing tabletop. We need to rent someplace. We'll just need to take them out there and set up a table and a tent, and let's just do it.
Yeah.
And
We had the idea of using a horse trailer, but we didn't have the time to do the horse trailer.
right
So we get the tent and table and get started that way.
now,
And we used the horse trailer for a while.
yeah,
just to
we
haul
use
our
the
stuff.
horse trailer to haul all of our stuff all over the place. You
Yeah.
know, so that's what we used it for.
And it wasn't until we was doing that for a while, we got challenged in Maybank. They wanted us to come to a rodeo, and I asked the mayor, I said, can they smoke at the rodeo? He said, if you provide a place for them to smoke, then yes. So that was a challenge we needed to go home and finish the trailer, which we did that weekend, 3-day weekend. And we went back to Maybank the next weekend and set up our tent in front of the trailer with a ceiling fan, chairs, tables, and ashtrays in front of our horse trailer. And he came back and saw us and said, okay, you did it, y'all.
That's awesome.
You're in.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So that night in the hot tub, was it that would be fun, or was it a let's do this? Like, what was the cliff you jumped off that night? I know the wine, cigars, the hot tub is perfect mix in my opinion. I'd swap out the wine for bourbon, but
Well, I thought we would save more money if we would open up and do this, and that way he could smoke what we get at our cost. Well,
Yeah.
that was my
sounded
thinking.
Yeah.
That was my thinking.
Yeah.
But then he realized every cigar he lit up, he was smoking up the profit. So I kind of got him to kind of back off a little bit.
I didn't get to smoke as many as I thought I was going to by doing this.
so I'll tell you, when we got in the cigar industry, one of the things that our buddy Chris, that many of you have met on the podcast, is like, man, if nothing else, you'll get cigars cheaper manufacturing them. And it's maybe 7-8 months later, it's like, dude, I used to spend like a few $100s a month on cigars. Now I'm at like $80,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for a little
Not
while.
that much.
I mean, it was like, I'm not sure we're on the right end of this yet.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't remember who said it. Somebody watching probably knows, but it's the old saying that the quickest way to make $1 million in the cigar industry is to begin with 2.
Yes.
Yeah. And so definitely
Yeah.
one of those things. Enjoying a McAuliffe Blue and a pour of Evan Williams, Mr. President. And then Chris says she's still getting jalapeno, but it comes and goes. It's great for this New Mexico girl. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Love that. So, you guys kind of talked about your first event that you had. You mentioned, the licensing was a little bit trickier.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of
Yes.
that, was it more challenging to start than you thought it would be, or was it about what you expected?
Well, it's just get connected with, because since we're in a 2-horse trailer, we're kind of limited on space.
Mm.
So we have a 6-foot wall that's got about 4 or 5 shelves on it. So we couldn't just carry every brand that was out there. So we had to say, okay, what are we going to specialize in? And being from Texas, and proud to be from Texas, the greatest country in the world. And we said, we'll just try to focus on Texas brand cigars.
Yeah.
And so then we started researching Texas brands. And at the first, it was kind of difficult because you Google Texas brand cigars and not a whole lot really pops up. But we found several brands that was very helpful and supportive for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was challenging in a sense, but it's becoming easier because when your focus is one thing, you want to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to take any sidetrack. You're going to just focus on that. And you get some brands behind you keeping you focused on that
Right.
Texas brand.
Yeah.
It helps a lot too.
Yeah. They love the concept so much that they want to support us. Say, wait a minute, that is a good idea. I would like for you to carry our cigars.
Yeah.
And sure, but we got to also remember we are limited space, and we get some to where they want us to buy a big amount, and then we just can't house it. Now, when we do have a humidor, a walk-in humidor built into our house. Of course, it didn't start out that way. It was to house pew-pews. And they had to go for the cigars.
I came home one day and all my guns were sitting on the couch on my bed. I thought,
Yeah.
what's going on? She unturned the walk-in gun closet to a walk-in humidor.
But along with this, it went off fast. I mean, it was just rolling, and I was getting nervous.
Yeah.
Because I said, wait a minute, this is going way too fast. And we're still trying to catch up, but it's still going fast, and it's a wild ride, and we are enjoying every moment of it.
And it's a wild ride that you have to manage, right? Because it's not just the cigar business of selling cigars. It's not just a retail business. It really is, especially for you guys, it's a hospitality business, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just selling tobacco, you're creating moments, which is a
Yes.
completely different challenge that feels like it snowballs.
Mhm.
Like, what do y'all experience that?
Yes, we get a lot of people come by, and they like the concept of the horse trailer that draws people in. They come in, they like the Texas brand because we talked about where each brand is out of. We said they're Texas brand, not Texas made, and so they're intrigued that I didn't know this Texas had cigars. That's where the companies are based out of, cigars. And sometimes people are intrigued of where the company's out of. Just like we're talking about the LA Humidor, I Lufkin. Oh yeah, I grew up in Lufkin. I want that brand. So yes, it's snowball, but it's manageable.
Yeah.
Because whenever we're all in, because this is what we do every weekend.
Yeah. No, that's great. So in a few minutes, I want to actually talk a little bit more specifically about the Simple Man mobile lounge. But for like the more generic aspect, how important do you feel creating the atmosphere or the environment is for cigars?
Well, like you said, when we first opened, we bring the experience where people are at. So a lot of people might not go to a humidor, to a lounge to experience it, or some people, man, I haven't tried a cigar in years. How you're right here, Lou, what do you have?
Right.
Because we decorate, we try to make it inviting for people to come up, and we're there talking to people. Versus you go into a lounge, sometimes they're intimidated. We try to break down those barriers. Hey, come up here. Sometimes people walk by and they smell the cigars or smell the cedar from the trailer, so that's inviting. Or somebody said, that reminds me of my grandfather.
Yeah.
So we try to bring the environment, bring the experience out to where people are at.
Yeah, we have sold cigars just so that they can light them and set them in the ashtray so that they can remember their childhood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey.
Cigars bring back all kinds of memories,
It does.
right? And that's really even where this flavor, we did a whole series on Develop Your Palate. We did 2 or 3 episodes, and we actually have 6, but we kind of feel like we're getting a little topic heavy too close together. So the other 3 are coming later this year. But one of the conversations in episode 5 or 6 that we didn't do was all the memories that cigars bring.
Yeah.
And we talked about it briefly because we've had people at events. Matter of fact, this was a couple of years ago. Mel and I were in New Orleans at City Park. We were there for something completely unrelated. We went out there and grabbed a bench and was smoking a cigar. A dozen people walked by. No one complained. 3 or 4 told us how great they smell, and a couple stopped and said, "Can I just smell for a second? It reminds me of my grandfather."
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Like there's just something that is amazing because I don't know if you guys have feel this in the couple of years y'all been doing this, but cigar smoking is becoming more normalized
Yeah.
and more welcomed than it ever has, in my opinion.
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's something interesting about a mobile lounge because it solves a problem. Okay, a lot of people enjoy cigars, but not every event has a cigar-friendly space. Have you guys experienced that in your journey?
Yes.
I know you talked about if you can create a space, but have you found spaces where you're selling and they can't smoke?
Oh yeah, we've done it in some indoor events to where we could only sell. We done a Tattoo Expo that would set us up inside with our trailer, and we could only sell it. But it's just kind of half the experience. But we have come across that. We've had one event that says no smoking allowed unless you're at Simple Man Mobile Cigars.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. But yeah, we have run into a few areas like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we set the event up, we try to find out first, what do you allow? Do you allow the smoking?
Yeah.
Now, if they say, no, they can't smoke in this area, they have to go someplace else, we do not display the cutter or the lighter. We don't want to be a part of that. It's up to you if that's what you can go over that way.
Yeah.
So we just don't supply that stuff. But 95% is they have no problem
which
with
is
it
awesome.
They just think we're so
whatsoever.
unique. They said, okay, cool, as long as you smoke
Yeah.
cigars.
Absolutely. Let's get to a couple comments here. Krista said, still getting the jalapeno. She said that one before, sorry. Chris said, enjoying the Lone Star attitude along with you. Wow, there's so much jalapeno pepper left lingering in my mouth. Very good in the first third. He said, because you mentioned jalapeno, I can't help but noticing it. Dwayne says he agrees with Chris. There's a jalapeno mixed with cocoa. Excellent contrast. And then never forget the fellowship. That was talking about the camaraderie. Yes. And then Krista mentioned that some of my favorite times are when stories are set up outside events. Love that as well. Just being outside and people. And there's a couple of big events down the street that happen every year that we just set up and sell at. And it'll be a concert, and you'll just look across the crowd of a couple of hundred people, and there's pockets of people smoking.
Yeah.
And no one's complaining.
Exactly.
And it's one of those things that I think if people were lining up cigarettes or vaping, you might have some complaining. But in those events, it's cigars only, and people are enjoying it, and it's great.
Yeah. You kind of had mentioned earlier, one of your favorite things about the cigar experience is when you get to help that person pick their first cigar. Because, not everybody knows what to pick. And so the mobile cigar lounge is really bringing that product and that experience and really the guidance as well. It's literally a lounge on wheels. We talk about, you being the tobacconist, all those things.
Yeah. And so how many times do you think, or what do you put somebody on that's a brand new cigar smoker?
So usually we introduce our brands, where they're from. Then we say we have sweet, mild, medium, full body. Then we say, what is your palate? How do you, and sometimes they'll say, well, I don't really know. So that leads us towards asking, do you want sweet or do you just want a mild one? We don't want to start you up anything's too strong. And so we kind of go from there. If they're wanting to start off with something sweet or they want just something mild.
Yeah.
And we kind of interview them in a way because we want it to match them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want them to have a good experience. That way they'll come back to cigars and build their palate up and come back to us also.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great.
It's great.
That's great. So on that thought, we are going to take just a quick break. But when we return, we're going to shift our focus more on the Simple Man Mobile Cigar Lounge.
Okay. We'll be right back.
We fell in love with cigars not because of the flavors or smoking experience or perceived status, but because it allows barriers to fall between other humans and build deeper connections. For that reason, we've been super intentional to curate a space where people can find community and enjoyment with others, and cigars just happen to be the way we're doing it. For that reason, we are thrilled to be the one and only cigar retail store and lounge in downtown Lufkin. A good story is one of the most powerful tools used to connect with another human. Sharing stories fades out differences and highlights similarities found in the details or with the storyteller. Over the years, we have seen some of the best stories told over cigars, and thus, new friendships are made, passions shared, encouragement given, and so much more. The impact storytelling has on the human connection is why we've decided to name our store and lounge Stories. Because behind every good cigar and conversation is an even better story.
Back in 1905, under Montana skies, 100 satin factories rolled smoke for a while. From miners to ranchers, life one grin. Now Big Sky Cigar is bringing that spirit back in.
Yellowstone River to the bold Bighorn flow. Madison, Beirut, like what we know. And Lee from Nicaragua, San Andres to the Ecuador Roda.
And every box sold helps our veterans mend. With warriors and quiet waters, we lend a friend's hand. It's heritage burning in every draw. Big Sky Cigars, Montana's pride and law. Big Sky Cigar, where heritage flows with every draw. Find your rear at Big Sky Cigar to pop.
As always, thank you to our sponsors. Let's go ahead and take a look at upcoming shows.
So next week on Monday night, we have boutique and craft cigars. Is there a difference? And we're going to be smoking the Intemperance Treachery by Roma Craft.
On July 27th, we are doing the Gathering Place, Cigars, Friendships, and the Third Place, and we will be smoking the CAO Flathead Speed Shop.
On August 3rd, cigar recommendations. Recommending cigars for every level of smoker, and we're going to be smoking the new McAuliffe White.
And on August 10th, we are doing Misunderstood Dark Cigars. Our dark cigars really stronger, and we will be smoking the Montosa Maduro on that one.
And that's the perfect cigar for that
yeah.
conversation.
Yep.
100%. If you're watching this live, we'd love for you to go ahead and click that subscribe button. You can also go out to YouTube and click the notify me. It'll notify you a few days and a few hours ahead of time that Cigar Rebel is going live. I can't talk. You can also follow us anywhere on social media at Cigar Rebel. We'd love for you to come along for the journey with us. And of course, always share what you're smoking and pairing, post any pictures you want, hashtag or tag us. We would absolutely love that. But before we get back into the topic, let's talk just for a moment what we're getting out of this cigar. Dale, you were talking during the break. You want to share what your thoughts on the cigar are?
The pepper is getting a little bit stronger through the second half, but it's still, I love it. It's just still good. Still trying to get more of that chocolate volcano out of the retro hell, because I really like that. But it's great. It's like it's building a little bit more and more. Somebody says it's kind of like a Texan.
Yeah, so for me, the flavor builds. In the second, third, it's got this slow build, the level of heat and the pepperiness of it. And it's really on the flavor intensity. The strength hasn't picked up. I'm not feeling it any stronger in my chest or anything. It's really just that flavor intensity, which I love in a cigar. I want a cigar where that flavor intensity always is outperforming the strength. And the sweet hay is still there on the finish for me. It's almost that jalapeno-ish that everybody's kind of talked about, with a little bit of sweetness on the end. How about you, Mel?
I mean, I agree with all of those. It's a very savory cigar to me at this point, just with the different flavor notes of the pepper, the jalapeno. There's that little bit of sweetness. I'm picking up just a little bit, not an over abundance of salt, but just a twinge, that pulls
a little bit on my
out.
lips. And
Yeah. So,
John, good to see you, Kiltman. Thanks for jumping on.
No, that's great.
So let's jump back into the topic, Mel.
Yes. So I would like to get into the Simple Man Cigar Lounge, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You guys can answer them in any order that you want. But the first one, you kind of had mentioned a little bit, is what kind of cigars do you offer? I'd love to know a little bit more about what your setup actually entails that you're offering to people, and what should someone expect when they walk up to your mobile cigar lounge?
Like I said, we had to be specific because we didn't have the room for a lot of different brands, so we stuck with the Texas brand. But we have them set up pretty much as, each label has their own area of the shelf grouped together. That way it's easy for us to keep track of who they are, where they're from. So it's not by strengths or anything else, it's by the brand. And, that's what we just kind of introduce who they are, where they're out of, anything special about that company as we get to them. We have one that's got one blend, but we specialize him because it's an easy smoke for everybody, and everybody seems to like that one. But then we'll talk about different cigars from that brand as we get to it also.
Yeah.
So when someone walks up, do they walk up to a window? Do they come into the trailer? Tell us about that.
No, it's a 2-horse trailer.
Okay.
And when we built it, we cut out the side. We put a window in it. There's only one way in on M3s, what we call Mobile 1, and it's a back way. But anyway, we have it's all out of cedar. And they walk up. The first thing they do is they smell us first. They smell the aroma, because Dale's always smoking a cigar to draw the crowd in.
Got to.
And so sometimes they stop by just to say, I just want to smell it. It smells so good. And others say, I don't really smoke. What do you do? It's how is this all about? And of course, Dale, he'll get into talking a lot about the cigar, but I study every one of these cigars. When we learn about a cigar and we're going to carry it, I look up the name of it. I find out what's in there. I get opinions on a lot of different people of what do you get out of this? Because no, I don't smoke, but I do appreciate a good quality cigar and what it could, it could be a hit or miss with somebody. If you give them a strong cigar and they're new to it, I don't think they're ever going to go back to it.
Yeah.
But if you ease them in on it and know what you're talking about, because I have learned there is nothing that a man does not find sexier than a woman who knows about a cigar. And that they're educated on it. So I don't want to just say, oh, this is good, here, take this. I want to know what I am offering them.
So in our first trailer, one we call M1, a lot of times there's not room for both of us to sail inside that trailer because it's only about a 3.5 foot, 4 foot window. A lot of times I'll be out front in a chair smoking a cigar, and we have our vice president of marketing sitting on my lap was our Jack Russell dog named Jack.
Yes.
So he draws a lot of attention also because everybody's got a pet Jack, and he's a great, fantastic dog. But so we use different elements to bring them in. We got a cow hog rug we sit in front of the trailer to make it welcoming for people to come up.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad you mentioned your dog because I was actually, it's not in our notes, but I was going to bring it up because on your social media, it's like he's really kind of your mascot almost for the
He's with us just about every event we go to.
I mean, if the cigars aren't bringing people in, he's doing it, right?
Hey, we do a rodeo, a 4-day rodeo, and by second day, everybody comes, "Where's Jack at?" Or I did an event the other day. Said, "Where's the dog?" I said, "He's with my wife in the other trailer." Yeah. And so everybody asks where Jack is, and he helps draw people in. We even got a vest. We can put cigars in his vest, let him walk around with that. And
that's cute.
So it's not in the notes either, but kind of a freebie for you rebels out there. So you mentioned M1 and M2. M2 is new, like really new. Tell us about the expansion.
Well, I wanted a bigger trucks. Like I said, it's hard for two people to sell out that window. Plus, we got going from the back on this one. I really wanted to get a trailer that we could have access from the front sides and have a bigger window. So in January, we were in Canton. We do Canton every month inside the pavilion. Now we used to be outside, but we're inside the pavilion. I've been wanting another trailer because I knew we was overgrowing this first trailer, and I found one. And we went and bought it in January. Then the weather didn't cooperate with us for several months. So we finally got it going 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And it's been great add-on expansion, especially during summertime. So we got an air conditioner in there.
Yes.
And we got a humidifier in there so we can take care of our cigars with that. And it's been a great expansion to our business. And we both do events on one weekend.
Yeah.
And so being mobile, you travel around. So what's your distance? How far do you travel? What are you willing to do?
Well, as long as it's within the state of Texas, because that's where we're licensed. Let's see, what's the farthest we've been?
I don't know. We've gone
2 hour, I think the farthest
2 or 3 hours,
is 2 or 3 hours. But we'll go anywhere if the price is right.
We have a 21-foot travel trailer that I pull behind my truck, and she can pull one of the trailers behind her trailer.
Yeah.
Her
yeah.
Jeep.
I don't need him. I
Hope
love
she
my
wants
husband.
me though.
Okay, I love my husband, but I can pull, I can set up, I can display, I can sell, I can do all of that with or without him. I prefer with him because sometimes I got to take a break and walk away. But when it needs to be done, it's got to get done.
Yeah.
So when we do Canton, we usually set up our trailer inside the pavilion because we park sideways, and there's another guy sets up in front of us and another booth behind us. So we take one of our trailers is set up inside there, and we put our travel trailer behind it. So when she gets there Thursday morning, she's already got a travel trailer set up. She got air conditioner, bathroom, everything right there. So she sells Thursday and Friday by herself with her and Jack.
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome. I think the first time we met, you were doing an event And you're like, she doesn't need me there. I'll stay here and have a cigar with you.
It took a while for her to get that confidence, but now she said, she started another one this past Friday. She drove the trailer out there and set up. I came up after work. She's already been there for 5 or 6 hours already.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So they said, if y'all pay me enough, I'll quit Joy, Jace, and take a trailer.
Oh, that's nobody. He's just trying to look for a free cigar.
Our kids are our biggest supporters.
That's awesome.
They have been very super supportive. Our grandson has been super supportive. He just turned 18. So we got him to where he can be with us. He wants to kind of learn about this. So it's really good that we have a good supportive family.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe you could eventually have a legacy mobile lounge.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. If they don't split all the profits up.
Yeah. Sure. So for your lounge, you talk about you've gone to some events. Do you guys do a lot of private parties? You'd mentioned weddings, festivals, the corporate events.
We do a lot of festivals, and our main thing, we did one of our biggest ones last year in Kilgore, and it was an Oktoberfest. And at the end of the event, it was kind of surprising. We didn't realize it, and the MC came over and visited us. He said, I swear, everybody had a beer in one hand and a cigar in the other.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize how many we sold that day, but we got looking back after the event like, wow.
Yeah.
So, and then somebody said we done Henderson, the Surf Festival, and that was a very good event, and just people passing by. Luckily, it was across from the aisle from the stage, and you had to walk by us also to go to the food court.
Oh, no, that's
So
great.
we had pretty good visibility there, too.
Yeah, we did an Oktoberfest event a couple of years ago. Not trying to take off some of it, but it is. Oktoberfest. It was the same thing. Everybody had a beer and a cigar, and I think we did like 300 cigars that day. I mean, it was just a crazy thing. I mean, we took a group and had to send somebody back to the shop to pick up more cigars.
That's a good problem to have.
And so those kind of events are fantastic.
Yeah.
Even the wedding we done, the lady contacted me this past week, said they're still talking about that, and that's been over a month ago. That people are still talking about that, us being there.
That's great. So when you have someone that books you for something, are they normally cigar people already, or are they just people trying to add something
Just add
unique to the
another
experience?
element to their experience.
That's great. That's great, because then you get to be that first
Mhm.
cigar point of contact for them.
And we have great events, and then we don't have great events, and that's okay.
You never know.
That's okay, because it's all about that one person. And you get somebody that enjoys that cigar, and then you get a contact, and then that name is spread, and then you get people contacting us. We got a message through Facebook from California wanting to know, hey, do we ship, and do you carry these cigars?
Yeah.
A little old us from a little town in East Texas, and so your name is very important. You want to make sure that you give the best possible customer service.
Yeah.
And if they come back, say, hey, I just bought the cigar about an hour ago, there's a split in it. No problem.
Yeah.
Just here you go, and that'll go to my son. He'll smoke it. No big deal. But we just want to make sure that when they hear Simple Man, then they said, well, those are the good people. Those are honest people. Those are the people that wants to make sure that you got the best possible experience that you can have.
Absolutely. That really connects to a lot of things we talk about here on Cigar Rebel. Is cigars are really all about that experience. They're about that trust. It's not just smoke. It's not just flavor. It's not just price. It truly is about that experience and connection with you as the tobacconist, as the trusted partner, in a sense. Even though they're buying from you, they're trusting you to provide a good experience, right?
Yeah.
When somebody walks up to their number one,
Yes.
they're our main focus right there.
Yeah. And that's really what the mobile cigar lounge is built entirely around that idea. It's not just, here's the cigar, good luck, see you later.
Yeah.
This is a private place, you can gather, someone to help guide you, especially if it's your first
You're
time.
right.
This is going to be something that's truly, hopefully, going to be memorable for them. And then also, you have someone who will follow you on Facebook and interact, you know, 'cause you can make friends
Oh,
and
yeah.
over a cigar, and they can be friends for life. So, when you guys think about Simple Man, what kind of experience? I know you touched on it a little bit, but if you could only give one experience, and that's what you wanted your name to be attached to, what would you want that experience to be for the cigar enthusiast that's coming to you?
I kind of think how we come up with the name. We was trying to think of, you know, what would describe us? What would describe me? What would describe her? And
Yeah.
that's when we kind of come up with the name Simple Man.
Yeah.
You know, we've already got 2 theme songs already. Everybody was thinking about Leonard Skinner, but Charlie Daniels had a song called Simple Man. But when you listen to the songs, it kind of explained to us, you know, just that's what we want about it. It's not have to be fancy or anything else. Hey, these are people are real.
Yeah.
They're approachable. You go up there, you got a question, you can be free to ask them. You know, not be intimidated.
Yeah, we're going to push out a good cigar. It doesn't have to be a $40 cigar. You know, a good $8 cigar can be just as good. And when we introduce, when they ask us, what is your favorite?
I'm going to go first.
And it'll be a specific one and not this one, and say, you know, hey, I want you to enjoy the cigar. That's what they want. They want you to be honest, you know.
Do you feel like people stay longer than they planned?
Exactly. Yes, they do. That's why we have chairs outside in the city. They can, and then he'll go out there and chit chat with them and smoke a cigar. And of course, I'm busy working.
Somebody's got to do the hard work.
You know, somebody's got to do it. So
No, that's funny. So I want to talk a little bit about the cigars specifically, you know, that you guys offer. So you can tell us a little bit more about the brands that you sell. And I know you said you sell Texas cigars, but is there, you know, more into that decision that makes, even if it's a Texas cigar, that makes it into the Simple Man?
Yes, I think so, because one of our first brands was a McAuliffe out of Weatherford.
yeah.
And through that relationship with them, even at the open house last October we went to, you know, it was amazing how many other brands were there represented at that, because we also had Texas Cigar Roller Show, David Skelton, which he does a YouTube channel also, but he's been a very good support of us and help keep us focused on Texas brand. Because you know, hey, have you tried this brand? It's not really Texas. I said, okay. So he's kind of helped keep me in line a lot. But then the one that Tony Rollins, the one that blended his, we picked up his Still City. So it's all kind of intermingled a lot. And then when we was in the underground, we met you. You know, for a brief moment, and you know, I've heard about you already, and so we brought in the Elevated Humidor from that event, and of course we've got Warfighter out of San Antonio, which they've been great guys to work with down there. We got Ohana out of Dallas, which they were at the open house. That's why I met Ryan, and then he told me to get a hold of Holly. So we've got to know each brand specifically.
San Jorge.
And then the new one we just picked up because David was at PCA, wouldn't have to go to PCA this year. But David said, hey, there's some new Texas brands that can be at PCA. And Carlos with Jorge, we got in contact with him. Great guy. He's always texting me, hey, how'd that event go? He's always following up on it with us. And then trying to think of anything else, anyone else.
Yeah, all the cigars that we have a personal contact with everybody. And that's what we like. They care about enough for us. You know, because this is your brand out there. This is your name out there.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I had $1 for everybody that walked up and said, you got any Cuban cigars?
We get that all the
We'd be
time.
wealthy, right?
Oh my gosh, we wouldn't even have to be doing
I always
this.
tell them we don't need them.
And just, no, let me introduce you to something that's just as good. And then we just pull out, you know.
Before we went live earlier, tying into this, I made the comment we should have been recording this, but you were talking about how you choose a brand, how you decide you're smoking it, you're cold drawing it, you're getting advice. So tell us about, you learned about Elevated Humidor, you got some cigars. How's the decision go? All right, we're going to carry this brand.
Okay, so when we talk to everybody, first we would like for them to send us a couple of cigars so we can test them. We want to make sure it's the integrity of the cigar.
Yeah.
And when I say integrity, it is a nice, good roll. It's good. It's not falling apart. And then he cuts it, and I want to do a cold draw on it, and I want to taste those flavors, on my tongue, and then he lights it up, and when I sit there and I smell it, and it's just a beautiful aroma. A good cigar, a good tasting cigar should have a beautiful aroma with it. It should not stink like a sewage or anything like that. And we've had a couple of those.
Yep.
And those do not go in on our shelf. But we research the people too, and we talk with them, and it's the integrity of the person that is behind the cigar.
We want to know about the people behind the stick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so as you guys know, and many of you rebels know, Mel and I own the Elevated Humidor, and as we're partnering with lounges, that's very important to us. We've not set up a booth at PCA yet because at that event, you've just got to sell to anybody that walks up because you're thousands of dollars in just to show up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to partner with lounges that they're invested in us and we're invested in them. And that's why we've really loved working with you guys and getting feedback. And we feel like we're on the journey with you.
Yeah.
We watch, someone asked during the break about if y'all post your events, and hey, we share them as often as we can get them and try and really let people get all of that stuff. Let our followers know where they can buy our cigars, but also connect them to you guys. And so that's just a big part of that partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to support each other in order to grow. We're not going to do it on our own. We have to have the support of the brand, the maker, the people that is behind the cigars. That is so important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great. And so I know you guys just recently you opened kind of your second mobile lounge. Where do you want Simple Man to go from here now that you've just opened the second?
Well, she gets on to me all the time because I'm always thinking, what's our next step?
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually went to our CPA back in the last part of 2025. He said, well, what are you going to do next year? You're going to go a bigger trailer? What's your next step? I said, well, 2026, I'm going to duplicate what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Still with the 2-horse trailer. So we got that finished 3 weeks ago, and I'd already said, my next trailer, I want a gooseneck horse trailer with the living quarters in it. That way we can just take one trailer, go and set up and just sell right out of our trailer and stay right there. And at first she thought I was crazy. Then all of a sudden she said, I see the vision now.
And his vision was for a brick and mortar. And I'm thinking, you know what? We got a good thing going. Why? There is a lot of good brick and mortars around here. We need to get out and then push them back to the original brick and mortar. Hey, you can get your cigar here. We're just out showing and
we're having fun.
We're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. We're tired, but we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a business model that if you're not in the business, you think you sit around and smoke cigars. And you might smoke a lot of cigars, but there's a whole lot of work involved on the backside.
It is.
Everything from regulation and data you got to submit to all the things you got to do to set up and tear down.
And build a trailer.
Yeah.
Get home every day for 2 months and work until it's dark.
Yes.
All right. So we're running a little long on time. We only got a few minutes left. I want us to hit you guys with some rapid fire questions for our rebels out there to get to know you better.
Okay.
And really just first thing pops in your mind pretty quick. And so Mel, if you want to kick us off.
All right. So first I'm going to ask if you enjoy a morning or an evening cigar more.
I enjoy a morning cigar with my coffee. I just don't have the opportunity as much because I go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So most of mine's going to be in the evening.
Okay.
So straight V or punch cut for both of you. Which one do you prefer?
V.
V cut?
I tend to do a more V cut.
Yeah. Okay. So coffee, bourbon, rum or water, root beer. What is your favorite thing to pair with cigars?
My favorite one was different types of root beer.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one of my favorites as well.
One of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I've talked a lot about I want to create us a root beer.
Yeah.
to have our own root beer.
Yeah, because I didn't see a root beer in the refrigerator earlier.
So there's
Yes.
normally stocked, but we've gotten everybody on here with root beers.
Yeah.
And so
It's one of the first to
it's
go.
the first thing that goes.
So I got ginger ale this time.
And a good next second is a cream soda,
Cream soda. Yeah.
just because it's such
That's right.
almost a sister beverage to root beer.
Well, a sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
That's
ever had
good.
sarsaparilla?
I have
We've
not.
had this conversation. I've
Yeah.
had it.
It's hard to find.
I love
But-
it. It's hard to find, but I do like a good sarsaparilla. Cold, ice cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be cold.
Okay, favorite type of event to work?
Favorite type of event to work? Well, I love the Oktoberfest, the ones that involve either food or beer.
I think the weddings have been very fun because you get to introduce different people to those types of
Oh, yeah,
events.
yeah.
And
That's it, yeah.
this is the excitement people have because everybody's
Oh, yeah.
excited already, and
Yeah.
you know it's a neat event for me.
You very rarely run into anyone in a bad mood
No.
at a wedding.
Oh, no, they're all drunk
You know.
by that time.
All right, so favorite food. Favorite food.
So.
Steak.
Favorite food,
Steak.
ribeyes.
Ribeyes.
Yeah,
My
ribeyes.
kind of people.
And then last is the best advice for someone that is new to cigars.
Best advice.
Don't do like me. Start out with something milder and work your way up because you learn how to appreciate the milder ones first.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to go back down to Connecticut or something milder. It took me a long time to because at first I didn't like anything milder.
Yeah.
And so I threw several of them out the window, and now I've learned how to appreciate those a lot more.
Yeah. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Get to know what you're selling. Don't pretend like you know what
Don't be
you're
afraid to
doing.
try something different.
No, no.
So Dwayne, one of our rebels out there, is a Cigar Rebel pack member and all these things. Great supporter. Says love their promotion of the local brick and mortar shop. Full respect. I agree.
100%.
At the Elevated Humidor, Cigar Rebel, we don't want to sell to online people. We want to support the brick and mortar. Now, if it's a shop that also sells online, that happens, but it's really supporting the brick and mortar because brick and mortar or the mobile cigar lounge like you guys are doing,
Yeah.
that's who's building cigar culture.
Yeah.
And so we're super proud of that. Dwayne, thanks for calling that out. Guys, there is so much more that we could talk about. We talked for 30 minutes, 40 minutes leading up to going live tonight. And we could really circle back and dive into several of these things. But unfortunately, we're just out of time. I know y'all got a couple of hours drive after this. So let's just talk right at the end. What is our final thoughts on the Lone Star Attitude by the Elevated Humidor?
I will have them in my store this weekend if they had cellophane. It's a very good cigar.
So that is coming. We printed our first UPCs today. So they'll be celloed and UPC'd.
Still
And
getting,
they work,
still getting
so.
the same body,
Yeah.
still getting the pepper, just great cigar.
These will go really fast out the window, very fast, because they represent Texas.
And so this is the new band that we saw tonight.
Yeah,
And
nice.
so
I like
just hot off the presses, I think Thursday is
Yeah.
when all the bands were finalized. And so
we want to pre-order.
love that. But on the cigar, it really picked up for me from a kind of 4 or 5 in the beginning to more of like a 6 or 7 strength. Would y'all agree with that? Those that are smoking it, that I feel like I would call it that jalapeno-ishy, almost a white pepper in this final third because it's hitting me right at the back of the throat, which wasn't there. And I really still get that roasted pepper, just that savory sauténess on the finish for me. But it's been rounded out quite nicely.
I just picked up something that like I said, a lot of times cigars bring back memories. I used to be a big dipper. I started dipping when I was real little. And just a while ago, I tasted Copenhagen.
Oh, no.
If you ever did.
Oh.
But there's that peppery from the Copenhagen. I'm like, man, that was great. Bring back great memories.
Yeah.
If you have, you remember. If not, you won't
Not for
understand.
me.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Mel.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you guys again so much for joining us.
Thanks.
For everybody watching, if you liked this episode, please leave us a review, share with your cigar friends, and hit us up with any topics that you would love for us to dive in on future episodes.
If you're watching or listening on the replay, go ahead and drop us a comment with #replayfam, #replayfam, and let us know what you're smoking or drinking while you watch the episode. You can get that on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere you stream your podcast, such as Amazon, Apple, or Spotify. Next week, we have a great episode lined up for you, Rebels. So join us live at 7 p.m. Central. But for tonight, that's our show, Mel.
Yes, thank you guys again. We love
Appreciate it.
having you on here. It's always easy to talk with you guys and
Thanks.
talk cigars and other things. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And don't forget to leave us a review and share with your fellow cigar lovers. We will see you Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Until then, keep your cigar lit, your ash long, and your palate curious.
Good night, Rebels.
Night.
Go out and subscribe to Simple Man Cigars and follow them.